嗨，大家好，我叫尹军。好，现在我们去救我们的未来的老婆。首先要把这些3个屌毛给勾引走。那么我们走人。嘿，你们在干什么？嘿，我操！我靠，走太近，他就没发现我揍他一拳才会过头来。我靠！膝盖中了一箭，不过他为什么不射到膝盖是那种？那么我们现在是要逃跑，跑到一个另一座城堡去报信。那么在这段路我不知道该说什么。对了，在这个游戏里面，我这是2周目，所以呢，我用了一个模组，比如说那种开锁不用钥匙直接就可以开起来的那种模组，还有就是领主的那套衣服的那个模组。对，那个什么领主的衣服呢？等一下你们看了之后就知道了。但是它这个模组似乎有一种 bug， 什么呢？就是你在过那种CG 演算的动画里面，它会怎么感觉？就是我说不出来，就是有他的衣服扯出一条线出来，很容易出戏。所以呢，这个模组到底要不要继续用呢？也取决于你们。如果你们喜欢这套衣服的话，我就继续穿着；如果不喜欢，那么我就换一套带精兵的铠甲。那就这样说了。Run for it！ 为什么这些平民他不去杀他，反倒一直追着我不放？这一次我就纳闷了。哪怕是分出一两个人去追那些平民也好啊，干嘛一直追着不放？就是他们就有点奇怪啊，就一定要杀了我吗？还是一直追着，对不对？所以说他不追的话就就是给不了一些那种紧张感，可能就是我们坏了他好事，对不对？就追着我们了，对吧？坏了他强暴一个女孩的那种欲望，然后就像是被人突然叫醒来那种感觉，气了一批。
Oh my God! Wait! Jesus Christ! Help! Skeleton's been attacked! Do something! Help! Quickly, everyone! Get your ass in there!
Hey! And loose! Hanyo! Who's in there?
Quickly! We're closing the gate!
Someone give him a drink. And bring hot wine and bandages. Tell me, boy, who are you, and where are you from? What in hell's name happened?
I've come from Skalitz. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone.
Who? Who burned it to the
A
ground?
huge army. They attacked without warning. And they weren't Czechs or Germans either.
Who then?
I don't know. I've never seen armor like it or heard their language. Maybe Tatars?
Tartars, you say? Well, we'll deal with that later. First, let's have a look at that leg of yours.
I don't know.
Grit your teeth, boy. I'm gonna pull that hair out.
那一定很痛。
Easy. All done. You were lucky, lad. The arrow missed the bone. It only needed bandaging, and I've done that often enough before. War is a good teacher. Can you stand? There you go. Good as new.
Thank you.
If you idlers nothing better to do, get back to work. You'll have to speak to Lord Divish. Can you manage?
一般情况下的话，都会要叫他去休息，但是这种出于紧急情况，还是得要问他一些情报的。
Sir, this is a survivor from...
I heard, Robard. Tell me, boy, what exactly happened? Did you see the ensigns of the attackers? And were there any more survivors?
So, I don't know what army it was, but it was huge. There were dozens of banners flying on the hill above Skalitz. The ones who did the slaughtering spoke a strange language. They burned Skalitz to the ground. But a lot of people took refuge in the castle. I wasn't quick enough. And as I fled, they shouted from the battlements that I should come and warn you.
The soldiers the boy didn't recognize. They could be those Cumans of Sigismund's. It said they came to Hungary from the east, and now they're the core of his army. Sacking Gutenberg must have given him a taste for stolen silver.
Skalitz is a small castle, sir. If Sigismund attacks, they can't hold.
Indeed, Sir Robard. And our small garrison would be no help, even if we could risk sending them.
You think we're next in line?
Maybe. What's your name, boy?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith.
I know him. Did he make it inside the castle? I'm sorry. It's in God's hands now. No one else can help us. Anyway, thank you for risking your neck to warn us. Robard, take care of Henry. Make sure he gets something to eat and some rest.
Yes, sir.
And get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
As you command, sir.
现在要去跟着他去吃饭，对，吃饭。
You've done well, lad. I'm sorry for your loss. You must be all done in. Why don't you go to the kitchen and have a good meal? Sorrow is easier to bear on a full stomach. I heard
不
about
过
your
这个
father.
模组似乎
They
有
say he
些
was a
穿
swordsmith
模
who moved to the
很烦
countryside to make horses.
在我们的第一视角里面是看不出毛病，但是跟别人对话的话，总是会看得出的。
I'm sure he had his reasons. He had a fine reputation. It's a great loss.
Ah, milady. You're fortunate our good lady Stephanie of Talmberg has graced us with her presence.
你们看一下那里有没有看到？
So this is our brave young man.
这就是我说的那
Welcome,
个
lad.
BVG 很烦。
Bojana here will take care of you. No
乱
doubt
码了，
you're
大概。
tired and hungry.
Indeed. How could he not be, poor soul? After everything he's been through, he must be as hungry as a bear, aren't you, young master? Here you are, then. Eat your fill.
找出戏份。
And a
那种
little
出戏
wine to wash it down.
Thank you, my lady.
When you're done, you can go and rest with the grooms in the outer bailey.
No, that won't do, Sir Robard. After all he's been through, he deserves a proper bed. Let him sleep in a lodge in the courtyard.
Certainly, milady. Young Henry here is overwhelmed by your generosity.
Yes, thank you, my lady. May God reward you for your kindness.
Eat up now. You're in capable hands, so I'll leave you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, man.
When you've done, you can sleep in the bedchamber of the courtyard lodge. And don't forget to take off those filthy boots before getting into bed.
我猜那个房子应该是这老头睡的，当然这不是老头他本身的，就是他偷用。那我们现在吃完食物的话，拿一些东西，因为这个锅吃起来还是不太够。拿起那些鸭腿，这是鸭腿吗？烤鸭，真的，把这些拿了都吃掉，吃掉之后睡个觉，补一下体力能量。因为你看那个下面。我们睡眠不够，要去睡一会儿觉了。实际上我们根本就用不着捡太多。好，吃完之后先去卧室睡觉。我操，跑不了哦，应该是东西太多了。那没办法呀，因为有些装备我舍不得扔，惊了。这里又没有箱子可以放我的装备，只能慢慢跑了。到了，接下来就看一下，好像也没什么好看的。好，坐下去睡个觉。不过这里面装备就不给你们看了哈，因为有些装备还是太重了，所以我就把它丢在地上了。
Today the patrols will be doubled. Keep your eyes peeled. If you see anything out of the ordinary, report it immediately. Understood? Yes, sir.
其实这衣服还真的挺漂亮的，就是这个有一股美中不足的，唉，干嘛还要出现这种该死的代码乱码了呀
It is I, Henry. Forgive the intrusion. I didn't wake you, boy, did I?
My lady, No, not at all. But what brings you here at this hour?
I thought you could do with a little wine.
对我们这个男
It's
主
just
人
what you need to help you sleep.
太好了吧，这
My
有点
lady,
奇怪。
Thank you. You really shouldn't. You could have sent a servant.
I was going to. But to tell you the truth, I couldn't sleep either.
因为男主太帅
I
了嘛
thought of。you
哦，对
while
了，我要
saying
把
my
男主当
prayers.
做我。
How awful it must have been for you. I came to offer you solace, to let you know you're not alone.
Thank you. Thank you kindly.
You're welcome. Now, Henry, I know this is all very new and strange for you,
吓到了，在这里，
but
男
I
主
want
肯
you
定
to
是
feel
吓
at
到，
home here.
因为
You're
这
not
里
to
有一
worry
种
about
感觉，有些
anything
一
except
点点
getting
的
better.
暧昧。
God knows you've
看
been
他的
through
表
a
情。
terrible ordeal. I know what it is to be left alone in the world, although your loss is much greater. But with God's help, the pain will ease in time. And it can help to talk about it, if you feel like it.
当然，这里的话，我们肯定要跟他倾诉，但是在现实中的话，一般的孩子大概是闭口不谈。不过我们不是呀，所以呢，我们就不跟他谈一下我们的那些经过。
You might be right, my lady. I'll tell you what happened. It
你
was
看那些衣服
terrible
都
and
穿磨了，
unexpected.
气死我了！如果不
The
穿磨
day
的话，是
started just
多
like
完
any
美
other.
啊！
Father sent me into town on some errands.
这里的话比较选中间的，因为他分数有点高。
A fellow by the name of Kunesh owed money to Father, who sent me to collect it from him. Only Kunesh had no intention of paying. It got a bit heated, as often happens when there's money involved, but Kunesh still wouldn't cough up the coin. Father was too generous for his own good, letting even a scoundrel like that buy on credit.
Oh.
When I'd done all the errands, I headed back home. I promised Father I'd help him with his work, and I was looking forward to it. He was forging a sword for Sir Radzig. The sword was taking shape when Sir Radzig himself came to have a look at it. He praised Father's work and said that with his smithing skills, he could easily make a living in Prague or Vienna.
You don't say.
But Sigismund's horde was already on the horizon, ready to attack the town.
还是选中间的。
A horde of soldiers was amassed. Pennants flapped in the wind, the armour glinted in the sunlight, and the horses
这个
whinnied
角度，这
impatiently.
个头
They
盔
were waiting for
太漂
Sigismund
亮
to
了，
give the
可惜
command
没
to
得
attack.
买呀。
How awful.
And then death descended on Skalitz.
这里的话，我们还是得说一句，他们杀了我的父母，这个会很好一点。
Father told me to take shelter in the castle while he went to get Mother. She was stranded in the town, surrounded by Sigismund's butchers. And then I saw him knocking down one Cuman after another. I never saw him fight like that. But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armour, saw Father and charged at him. But then the leader of Sigismund's raiding party, a knight in full armour, saw Father and charged at him. He cut down my father without a thought. And then he turned on my mother. And he murdered her in cold blood.
这里他根本就没
You
杀
poor
他母亲
boy.
啊。
May the Lord have mercy on their souls.
I ran to the castle like our neighbours to take cover, but I didn't make it. I had to find another way to save myself. The men on the battlements called down to me to flee to Talmberg and warn you. I was lucky I knew a concealed path around the castle.
这里肯定要选，那我需要一匹马。
I needed a horse to get to the safety of Talmberg and to warn you all.
And with all that was happening, you thought of others like a good Christian.
Then I heard a scream. It was Teresa, the mill wench. She'd been caught by a gang of Cuman savages who planned to violate her. I had Sir Radzig's sword, and even though there were several of them and they were better armed, I had to try and save her. I wanted there to be at least one person I'd helped. And I succeeded, even though it almost cost me my life. After that, I stole a horse from them and rode off.
Like a valiant knight.
I'll never forget the horror. It will haunt me for the rest of my life.
好，已经了解到了中世纪女性的什么什么什
It's
么。
terrible. How could something like that happen?
God alone knows why he
啊，
lets
这
such
个
things
太
happen.
他喵的可恶了。
Poor boy. I understand your grief, but God is not to blame for the ills of this world. That is the work of Satan and those who do his bidding, those who are corrupted by greed, envy, and pride. You must not lose faith, whatever life brings. Fate has not been merciful to me, and my husband either. Although in comparison to the horrors you went through. I was young when I married my husband. It was my father's wish. Divish was a lot older than I, but a woman must bear her lot. Shortly after our marriage, before I even got a look at Talmberg, the castle was stormed and my husband was imprisoned.
Really?
My husband had some quarrel with Sir Havel Medek of Valdek, who decided to resolve it by force. He stormed the castle, burned down the village of Pribyslavitz, and killed many of our men, even the old chamberlain. He imprisoned my husband in the castle and put his own garrison there.
That's awful.
I was barely 18 years old, and all of a sudden, I was left alone with Sir Robert. We didn't know what to do. We went to Prague to appeal to the king and sought help from Divish's friends, but all to no avail. We tried for years, but it seemed I was destined to be left alone and my husband to rot in jail in his own castle.
Years, you say?
7 years. That's how long it took before Havel was condemned as an enemy of the crown. And even then he refused to surrender the castle and release my husband. In the end, I raised the money to pay a ransom, and only then, by the grace of Lord Jesus, did I finally lay eyes on my husband once more.
7 years. And was Havel punished for it?
Never. And after 7 years, my husband returned to me an infirm
变成了一
old
个衰
man.
弱的老人。这样的话
So
有点
Divish
奇
seems
怪，
like a
就
good,
是
strong man.
啊，
Certainly.
肾应该
And
不行了。
he has many concerns. He had to rebuild Talmberg. After he was released, the king appointed him Burgrave of Prague Castle, and he was very busy. He had no time for me at all. But at least we were in the city, and there was something going on.
不，这可能是他的
Now
借口，因为他肾
we're
虚了
here.
呗。大概是这样的，不是
My
我。
lady, you're still young and beautiful. Your best years are still ahead of
因
you.
为他那个领主整天都在这个城堡里面，
Would that were
怎么
true,
就老了
lad.
呀？
Would it were true.
活该被绿。
But what am I
嘿，这
doing
里剧透
bothering
一
you
下
with this?
因
You
为
have
我
troubles
会干
enough
什
of
么？
your
你们
own.
之后
I'll
将
go
会理
and
解
let you
啊。
sleep. I enjoyed our little talk, Henry. Good night, and God bless.
Good night, my lady.
他这里年龄的话呢，大概是30岁左右吧。不过这个乱码这个如果修改一下该多好，可我不会。大概过几天的话，他应该就会把这些 BUG 给弄没了。或许是我加了一些东西导致的这个原因吗？不应该的。这里是在做噩梦。这是所谓的心魔在作祟吧？
Henry, wake up. You don't want to miss this.
What is it? What's happening?
Come to the battlements. One of our patrols reported a company heading here from Skalitz.
好像是出现了什么状况，所以我们还要去跟他们去城墙去看一下情况。那么我们现在是赶紧出去。火把好像是一个永恒魔法，不是魔法，魔你妹！这个是核动力火把，一直都可以用。就是这里好像一直没人吐槽啊，但就是这个火把，就是你用多久，它都一直都可以用吧？好像，因为我怎么说呢？反正我就是不缺火把。啊，好的，我们就不说了，现在应该快到了。这里我们就不跟他这些卫兵对话了。这里我们还是跑不了，因为这些负重还是，不过无所谓了，走的速度也不慢，对不对？不过还是有点动不动就想看自己的脚。跟他对话，不过怎么说呢？好，点了发生什么？
I don't know. It doesn't make
这里
sense.
他好像那
Why
衣
would
服
Sigismund
还
advance
是
on
出现了
Talmberg
一点
in the
问题，
night?
估计就是我那
Especially
些
since he's lost the
模组
element
装
of
错了
surprise，after the
我
raid
之后
on
会
Skalitz.
重新装一
Maybe
次
it's。not him.
Then who is it? The scouts Jivish sent to Skalitz to spy on Sigismund said he'd set up camp and was getting ready to storm the castle. And Sir Radzig is an experienced soldier. He'd surely hold the castle for quite some time. It doesn't make sense.
What else did the spies see?
Not much of anything. Before they could get close enough, this huge storm started. And you were right. Sigismund has a hell of a lot of soldiers, including all manner of mercenaries. An army like that costs a fortune. Well, anyway, we'll find out when they get here, won't we?
Aye, we will.
穿模了，好难受呀。 这里是一个戏剧动画，100%的。
Who goes there?
Lucifer and all his minions. Who else, Rubber?
Sir Ansig, what a relief.
Is his lordship there with you?
Yes, sir, he is right here.
What are you doing up so late, Divish? At your age, you need a good night's sleep.
Well, Raptic, you didn't exactly pick the best time for an outing either. In a big hurry?
It was a bit of a scramble, all right. Believe it or not, this tempest is a godsend for me and my men. As my old granddad used to say, better a sore throat than a slit throat.
I'd say your grandfather was a wise man. Your messenger told us what happened.
Messenger?
The lad you sent to warn us.
He's alive? He made it to you?
He's here with me. He only got away by the skin of his teeth, though.
God.
A brave young man. But tell me, friend, how on earth did you manage to get away?
Thank God for this tempest. When it began, Sigismund's Tatars crawled into their holes and left us storming the castle for more clement weather. We were able to sneak out right under their noses. The Lord be praised. We wouldn't have stood a chance against them.
Would you like to spend the night in Talmberg?
No, no. When Sigismund finds the castle empty tomorrow, he might come looking for us. We'd only be exposing you to danger. Without me and my men, he has no call to attack you.
What will you do then?
We'll march to Ratai. It's only a short way, and there we'll have a better chance of defense and enough room for all of these people. If Sigismund should come, better bend your knee, Divish. There's no point dying in a battle that's futile.
You're right there.
Is that boy still with you?
I'm here, sir.
You have courage, lad. That I can't deny. I am sorry about what happened. Would you care to join us?
I'd like to, sir, but first I have to return to Skalitz.
Are you mad? What do you want there?
I can't leave my mother and father. I won't leave their corpses rotting in the street. I'll join you once I've taken care of them.
Don't even think of going back there, you donkey. Are you tired of living?
But sir!
Quiet! I'm sorry about your father, but getting killed as well won't help him. Divish, make sure that lad doesn't budge from Talmberg until things quieten down.
Not to worry, friend. Anyway, he's injured and needs to recover. I'll lock him up here as if he were Havel of Baldic.
是在
I see
调
you've
侃
grown
一
a
个梗
thick。skin since your tribulation, sir. But thank you. We'll meet again when circumstances are more favorable. Farewell.
Farewell, friend, and good fortune. Give my regards to Sir Hanush.
I will. And good luck to you and your people too. These are dark times. Move out!
Anywhere, people! Move out! It's only a short way to Rattay now.
好了，这段事情也是告了一段落。
Men, tonight we'll have triple patrols. Sort out the watches between you as always. And if I catch anyone boozing, playing dice or slacking off, I'll personally break every bone in his body. I want you to keep a close eye on everything nearby.
总感觉他这衣服还是有
Sigismund
点
will surely have
碍
sent
眼。
spies, and likely men as
我还
well
是
to
想看
follow
一
the
下这些。
Skalitz people
不过
now
你
he knows
这个
they've
画质
fled.
调了之后，这
Keep your eyes
还是
peeled
会
and
挺漂
report
亮的。
everything to me at once.
Need to
Understood?
shit.
我操，只是蹲下去而已啦。只不过因为下雨的关系，这地面也是会有一点反光之类的。
What is it you need?
I could use an extra pair of eyes, and yours are keen. Will you keep watch on the battlements with my
不
men?
过这个游戏跟那
I'd
个
rather it was a request.
奇
to
坎
answer
不
yes.
同的地方就
Of course I'll
是
help.
它这里面
I'll
的
have to
士
pay you
兵
back
是
somehow after
太
all you've
少
done
了
for。me.
Splendid. And
我
don't
们一
worry,
般玩
I'll
奇
tell
坎
the
的
men
话，
to
它攻
relieve you
城会有
later.
几百号人，对不对？对方有100号，我们这边也是100号人，看起来很壮观，也很爽。但是玩这个游戏，但是那个奇坎玩多了，就是相当于你是带兵上去，但是士兵怎么说呢？地图也就那么大，对不对？你只能冲上去打了，根本就体验不到什么感觉。但是在这游戏就不同了。当然这个游戏美中不足的地方就是你本人主角是没有卫兵，也不能去雇佣一些佣兵，很烦。所以你都是一个人在玩，一个人在战斗。 这里就是我感觉到不满的地方。如果他以后能够加上一些雇佣系统该多好。这样的话呢，我过任务的时候，哪怕是过任务后面有3个卫兵，我就很高兴了。这里这个人直接跑过来跟我对话，打断我跟别人对话。
Wandering around like a stray sheep must be your first watch, eh?
不过这里我们就无所谓了，对吧？所以继续聊一下。你
你
们玩游戏的时候，真的没希望过有士兵听你的话，或者跟你屁股后面的吗？反正我就是这么希望的，我特别想，就是不知道有没有这个模组能不能做到这些事，真希望他能做出来。那么我们就在这里跳过，没错，跳过了。这里的话，他是那个大部队，估计是来了。毕竟刚才那个领主也说过了，这个城堡没人的话，他也意料到这个人跑了，所以他现在跑到这里来了，因为他可能怀疑他藏到这里。
See how the self-appointed king wins the love and respect of his loyal subjects.
Indeed, Robard. Sigismund of Luxembourg has a rare talent for winning people over to his cause. We may be in for a surprise, though. I don't think he will set his heathen dogs on us today.
Greetings, Lord of Talmberg.
That's the bastard who led the attack at Skalitz and killed my parents.
Don't be an idiot. Do you want to end up like them?
I am Sir Markwart von Aulitz. I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia, who has resolved to strike against those who disrupt concord in the land and to restore order in the name of his brother, King Wenceslaus IV.
Restore order by burning and pillaging the king's estates.
Greetings, Sir Markwart. The efforts of the king's brother to bring order to this chaotic land are undoubtedly noble. It seems to me, though, that he and his army have somewhat strayed. As Burgrave of Prague Castle, I am entirely beholden to the king, and here in Talmberg divine peace reigned until your arrival. To what then do we owe the honor of your visit?
Yesterday, His Majesty took action against the enemy of the kingdom, Sir Ratsig Kobila, who has been using the silver from the Skalitz mine to fund insurrection against the crown. Unfortunately, the insurgent escaped. Would you happen to know, noble sir, where he might be at this time?
As far as I know, the Sir Radzik of which you speak is the king's hetman at Skalitz. I find it hard to imagine that he would rebel against our king. Nevertheless, I can assure you that Sir Radzik is not at Talmberg. He would be a fool indeed to flee from one castle, where he has little chance of defense, to another, where he has even less. Or do you take the view that my humble manner is any obstacle to your army?
Am I to inform the king then that Sir Ratsig Kobila is not at Talmberg and that he has your loyalty?
Sir Radzik Kobila is not here, and I have no intentions of getting embroiled in affairs from which I have nothing to gain.
Very well, sir. As you wish.
他自己好像生气
I
了。
will relay your words to the king in the hope he will be as well disposed as you seem to be.
Those who have clean consciences and goodwill may find themselves well disposed even at moments like this, when there is little cause for joy. Farewell, sir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
这是库曼人啊。 就这么撤退了。
My lord, you have my utmost admiration.
Get on with you, Robard.
好，这剧情也就到这里告一段落了。如果你们还想继续看的话呢，记得点一个推荐或者投一个币，对不对？那么我们就下期见了，拜拜。